Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Alternative Idol podcast. I'm Terry from the Alternative Idol group on Facebook, and I'm back with my regular co-host Gary from Idol is Shit.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And John from Straight from Japan.
Hello.
Thanks for everyone joining us this week. We was off air last week. You know, news was a bit slim and we didn't really have too much, as usual, as it seems to be happening recently. And now, as usual, after another week, we then end up with a packed show full of stuff. So, can never seem to get the balance right between having nothing at all or too much.
Has it really only been a week? Feels like way longer for some reason.
I think it probably didn't help that I was ill and I didn't manage to get a top 10 video that I know you all love out, unfortunately. So maybe I'll drop that next week. But then again, we have the VOD, so we'll see. Maybe we'll have something for you next week anyway.
We've got a few of those in the works, so you know, stay tuned.
Big shout out to everyone who... Did we have a VOD? We didn't have a VOD because we didn't do a podcast. So yeah, big shout out to everyone who's been waiting patiently for us to make our triumphant return and me not be as sick as a dog and actually be able to talk on air, which is nice.
Yeah, thanks for not unsubscribing, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Hashtag road to 500. We're on like
subscribe if you haven't already, by the way. 270
something. Yeah, so we're on the way to 300.
More than halfway there, dude.
We're getting there. If you're brand new and you've never joined us today, we basically just cover the week or 2 weeks, depending on how long it's been. News within the Alternative Idol. We cover news, we cover releases, music videos. You'll kind of get to hear our reactions, and also we'll take in your guys' reactions and your thoughts and feelings on what's going on. So stay tuned. We've got stuff from all sorts of groups, all the whack groups, all the Kodomo mental groups. We got Candye Syrup. We've got the works pretty much. If there's someone we could talk about, we probably will be talking about them. If we've missed any news, just drop us a comment while we're talking, but not yet because we might be talking about who you're thinking of. So hold on to your horses and just see what we have first. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about first?
What?
Is there anything that you guys want to talk about first? Before we get onto the news, nothing you want to say?
I don't think so. I have nothing. I've got nothing.
That's good. Also, someone keeps typing in the Discord chat, which means that I have noises and stuff, which is annoying me. So I'm going to quickly turn off my sound notifications so that you guys can't hear that. So that's done. Good times. That's fine now. Anyway, we can start on with the news. I'll finally change it to the welcome screen to say welcome to everyone, because I always seem to have that screen up for about 2 seconds before we actually go into the news and no one ever actually gets to see it. So if you haven't already and you are joining us late, even though we've only just started, welcome to the show. And we'll crack on with this week's news if you guys are good. Who wants to take us away?
I'll take us away.
Sure. So what have we got going on this week, John?
This one's old-ish, I guess. This is from just like a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
Living Dead Idols, little speed bump. Originally, Mitsumi had silently left the group. I didn't even know about it. So, and then they apparently went on some sort of a low output, low show hiatus type thing while they were trying to.
Oh well, if John could be with us, that'd be great. But
am I cutting out?
Yeah, you are a little bit.
Oh god damn it!
It's fine. Go again.
Just a second. Let me plug this thing in. I'll keep talking.
Speaking of the dead.
Yeah, they went on a little hiatus, and where's my? Sorry, I'm just trying to sort out my cords here.
I thought maybe your dog had, got loose.
No, they went on hiatus, discussed what they were gonna do with the group, and then all three girls, Miyasako, Hachi, and Satomi, all left on the 31st of August. So Living Dead Idols is a vacant group.
All right.
They're not really living, are they?
No. And
didn't you only just pick up their two venue singles?
Yes, I had just received their singles.
It's got a sting, man. It's pretty. They had some good stuff going.
Yeah, apparently they're gonna try and refill the group with more.
So they're keeping the brand name and they're just refreshing the performers, I assume.
That's the word on the street.
So for those who into Living Dead Idols, obviously that's a bit of a blow. If you had your favourites, but hopefully they'll come back with a new group and maybe take it a bit further this time. I suppose we'll have to see.
Hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, only time will tell. I mean, they're not going to be anywhere near the same as what they were before, of course.
So apparently all of the group's activities had been suspended or something.
Yeah, well, they were after Mitsumi left a couple months ago. They suspended activities. I don't think it was a full suspension because I think they did a couple of lives, but yeah. And then they were like, "Well, what are we gonna do? What's their direction?" They had discussions, and then they just said, "Okay, we're done."
So, well, in other words, the girls couldn't everyone couldn't agree with what was going on, like direction-wise of the group, so they just kind of went, "Yeah, let's just knock it on the head."
Yeah, I don't know if it was they couldn't agree with management or they couldn't agree with each other. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's a shame, and I wish them all the best in whatever things they go from now on. We could see them pop up in other groups, especially within, the all idol community. Like, girls get around, especially into other groups and that sort of stuff. Hey, keep it clean, boys. We're a Christian podcast now. If we're gonna get remonetized,
What?
oh
man,
we gotta be holy.
I didn't get that memo.
We gotta be holy now if we're gonna get re AdSense.
I'd like to take this moment to announce my graduation from the podcast.
I'm only joking, don't worry. So yeah, that's that graduation, and we'll be announcing Gary's graduation later on. We can move on to the next slide if you guys want.
Yeah, so I would also like to take a moment to just briefly mention, because this isn't that much of a news story so much as it's just this kind of cool thing that happened. But Bish performed at the VMAs in Japan,
Indeed,
which that's a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing,
Are the VMAs are still like a big thing, I'm assuming?
I don't really watch that sort of stuff, so I'm not
Maybe
sure.
in Japan. Maybe in Japan.
I'm not really big on like award shows.
I mean, I see JVC and MTV and some other stuff in the background, so it looks like it had some fairly big sponsors, I suppose.
But yeah, so they opened the show apparently, which that's pretty cool. I don't have it in the notes here what song they performed, but I would imagine it's probably Giant Killers because that's the outfits that they're dressed up in and the most recent thing that they've been
All I
promoting.
could think of was Giant Killers or Promise the Star or Orchestra. They kind of seem to be the free to pull out at shows at the moment. If they had played something else, I would have been quite surprised. Then again, Hoshika wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah, if anyone in chat has any idea, feel free to let me know. But
yeah, it was never mentioned anywhere that I could find. But also, just to stack on top of that, the other opening guest group was Blackpink. Has anybody heard of them?
No.
Oh, they're like the K-pop group, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I've heard of them.
So there was a K-pop group at the Japanese VMAs.
Yeah, the K-pop groups have Japanese singles.
I get.
Yeah, Blackpink are a pretty big deal.
Oh.
So that's good company to be in, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and Moklo, I think, won something there too.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Be sure work in those AVEX connections. So.
That's what I was about to say. It definitely seems like since they've been with Avex, they've managed to get their foot in the door within the the bigger events, I suppose. Especially because they have this other event that's coming up as well in November now. This was it Tokyo
yeah,
City
they're the special guests for a show like this. I think it's like a music show at Tokyo Dome City Hall in November.
So that isn't actual Tokyo Dome, right? That's like a separate.
No, that's not the actual Tokyo Dome.
It's
like the smaller like convention center next to it kind of thing.
The Tokyo Dome Convention Center.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
I think every big stadium has a convention center.
I mean, it's still like 3K attendance, which is...
Yeah, compared to the Tokyo Dome's 50K. So.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Bish are going to be doing Tokyo Dome anytime soon. Well, not yet, anyway.
Yeah, they also have their like female only and like middle and high school only shows that they're doing in November as well. So
The About a Girl tour.
yeah,
That
and
sounds pretty cool.
the other one I can't remember the name of, but you have to be like
Public Image, isn't it?
Yeah.
Public
Image,
Limited.
Yeah, something like that.
so yeah, and then they obviously got the album at the end of November as well. So busy
And
times.
the Revolutions DVD that comes out on November 1st.
Yeah, deep
Yep.
pockets, guys. You gotta
Yeah.
have those deep pockets.
If you want to be a WAC fan, you got to,
You gotta have a fat wallet to be a whack fan
a
nowadays.
fat wallet in those sense. Pretty much.
But yeah, so that's Biche. Pretty big deal. Even though there's not that much to say about it, it's probably done their standing in Japan no harm.
We can move on to the next point if you guys are.
Well, I was just gonna add on to that we're gonna have to stop covering them, and they're gonna be too mainstream.
I
They're
know,
gonna be too
right?
big.
I mean,
They're not very alt anymore.
oh no, we still cover Baby Metal, but if we've, I was gonna say, this next group could be alt, but then again, they're already with Avex, so maybe we shouldn't cover them in the first place. But who knows? Let's move on to the next one, which is, of course, the Empire, or Empire as we like to call them. And as you guys probably know by now, they have now released all of their faces. It's no surprise if you've been following them on Twitter. Or any of the Facebook groups or anything like that we have, then by now you would have seen pictures of all of them. If you followed them on Twitter, you'd be able to see, they're posting stuff now. They've got videos, they've got pictures. You can see who they are. What's more interesting is that some people seem to have already realised this. I know Gary was kind of like, yeah, I thought this was common knowledge, but I didn't know. So it wasn't until the other day I was scrolling through a few videos. And if anyone remembers back to the original WAC auditions, the auditions that actually came to fruition, and then you had Momoland and Pan Luna Leafy actually join Beast, right? During those auditions, you had all the auditionees and all that sort of stuff, and them doing their tasks and all that sort of stuff. I remember we did quite a bit of coverage on the WAC auditions, but it turns out, as far as we can see, that it wasn't just the first two, that essentially Watanabe kind of introduced the whole, that they were going to be an Avex and WAC. Essentially, he kind of said, okay, these are the two girls, and we're going to be starting this new project, and they're going to go be in this group now. But I mean, that was like a total kind of front, because he'd already grabbed the girls from the auditions during the auditions. So as far as we're aware, the shorthead member, just on the right hand side, Mayu, she was from the original auditions, and in the middle you have Yuina, and she was actually there at the original auditions as well. There's clips of all of their actual singing auditions as well on YouTube from when they auditioned for WAC. So if you want to hear what their voices sound like, very untrained, remember, very untrained, then go and listen to them. It seems, as far as we can know, that 4 of them were actually from the WAC auditions, and either, some of them were kind of, dropped out and then taken off to go do whatever Empire were doing, because they probably weren't going to fit in BIS anyway, let's be honest. Like, BIS is misfits, so you're going to get Momo and you're going to get Pan Luna. Like, I couldn't imagine any of these lot being in BIS. They just don't have the off-key misfit kind of persona that I think that you need to fit in with BIS. I think all the girls here look far too well adjusted to probably be in BIS, in all honesty. The only one we're not sure about is the girl on the far left, who is Midoriko, and as of yet we are not sure where she came from. She's the only one that we don't know. All the rest were from the WAC auditions, apart from Midoriko. Speculations are, that Avex already had her on payroll, or, maybe that was the girl that they pulled in from auditions they did, or maybe someone else or maybe there was auditions afterwards, who knows. But yeah.
Well, here's a question.
Go for it.
Remember at the end of the WAC exhibition where everybody was singing, and he said, these are the 2, we're going to make them the core of this new group. Remember the other 2 that they just shuffled off and said, okay, you're done, get the hell out of here?
Yep.
Are they these other 2?
Was that Yuina and Mayu? I honestly don't remember.
I'd never even thought to check.
We need to
So
go.
it
I
could
need
be
to go
them.
and look. It could be Mayu and Yuina. It's possible. I need to look. We'd have to have a look. But I mean, Mayu and Yuina look kind of normal. Even in the auditions, they just looked normal. They weren't, they weren't Fetus Chan, they weren't Top Heavy Chan, they weren't Skeletor, they weren't any of the, the crazy names that people gave, the auditionees, the ones that like stood out for being really odd. They weren't anyone that people was really rooting for. They were just kind of the people like, hey, yeah, they sing good, they dance good, but if they didn't really stand out, if that makes sense, I suppose. So they were kind of too normal, I think. No one latched onto them. Whereas as soon as people spotted Momo, they either loved her, hated her, didn't think she could do it, or was willing to cheer her on until death. So there were strong feelings there. So I'm sure Watanabe had probably had this entire thing planned out from the beginning, and we've all been played like puppets as usual. As he's gonna actually do to us later, probably play us more like puppets, but we'll find out. But anyway, that was just my thing about Empire. Like, there's their faces. It turns out that 4 of them are from the auditions, if anyone remembers. So if you want to amaze yourself, go back and watch the audition singing clips. Go back and watch the actual audition interviews, because that has them actually being interviewed as well. And the majority of them end up crying, which is quite funny. Watanabe just doing his thing normally, like he's kind of just giving them normal interviews and everyone's crying. I'm just like, I don't understand, But then again, Japanese girls auditions, tears happen. Not much you can do about it.
Why don't we go ahead and talk about being played like puppets right now? Because I think this is where we were sticking that, weren't we?
I did actually make a thing. I did actually make a thing for the. Well, everyone knows really that. By now, if they don't know, that Empire has put out a preview.
Empire is coming.
Empire is coming, but we shall talk.
Am I stepping out of line with this one? Did we stick it somewhere else?
I've put it in song previews, so we'll leave it in song previews, and we will talk about it in song previews. But yes, Empire is coming, and it will be on later. So be ready for that one. John has a good point.
Stick around.
Okay,
what
it just
have we
wasn't
got
on
next?
It wasn't on the list.
It's okay.
Anyway. I'm next with more Graduation.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
I just meant because they're all groups that you actually cared about as well, which just kind of makes it worse.
Yeah, well, I do tend to do most of the Graduation news anyway, I guess, really, if we're being honest. But Bono Paradox, 2 graduations, so they're going to be at half strength on the 23rd of September, so this is pretty old news. They announced that Uni and Kagari were going to be graduating from the group. This is not effective immediately. They will have the graduation live on November 12th.
All right.
Apparently, Kagari has made it known to the group that she was going to be leaving all the way back in August, so...
All right.
They've all known for a while. They just never told us or whatever. And the producer Suzuki Daiten put out a note that said that they're gonna continue on as a group, and they are looking for new members as well. So the group's not going anywhere they got Chu now, and she's like the best vocalist out of all of them.
Yeah, really. I was gonna say maybe they should pick up a few more girls that can sing half decently, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that they couldn't, but like Kagari's voice wasn't really much to shout about. Uni's voice wasn't really much to shout about. We're not even talking like bass like whack level or anything like that. Like that was the only thing that let them down. The music was alright, the costumes were good. We mentioned that in the last podcast about Coco leaving 00. So it won't be in this podcast, unfortunately, unless something new pops up. In that case, let us know and we will. But yeah, so I'm assuming that Kagari's just going to go and work and just carry on in Barrellum, right?
Yeah, she's going to be working at Barrellum probably. Yeah, pick up more shifts, I guess.
In case people don't know what Barrellum is, it's basically like a members-only invite bar thing. And there's quite a few of them, 3 of them, I think, within Tokyo or whatever. And it's basically a private members-only bar where you can go and get served drinks by idols, or ex-idols would be the word. Who are some of the people who work there?
Well, I think they have cosplayers too.
Oh, and cosplayers as well, yeah. So if you like cute girls and idols then, and you want to be served drinks by them, Barrellum's the place to be. But yeah, don't expect to get in without a membership or a friend who goes there, so yeah.
I do think they have open nights every once in a while.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be one of those while I'm over there, maybe.
But Kagari works there. Ray works
from
there
Guso
from Guso. Works there, yeah. And there's somebody else. I can't.
Rio.
I can't.
Rio from who used to be in Lolis and Reboot. She works in one of them, I think.
Yeah.
She works
I think they all work at the same one. The God, I can't remember the name. Starts with an I.
Ikebukuro?
Yes, they all
It's
work.
like the retirement home for idols.
I thought that was Gang Parade.
Hey, you watch.
Hey, I'm gonna make it known that that's not my quote. That's someone else's quote, and I was using that sarcastically because I love Gang Parade.
This bar probably has more fans than Gang Parade, right?
The sarcasm is there. I love it. I love it. A few bits and bobs, but you know, not too much. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Bono Paradox. We can move on to...
It's just the regular churn of
idol.
smaller idol groups.
We're quite lucky that John doesn't get attached, so he takes the stuff all really well. And,
Absolutely.
Doesn't, cry out on Twitter saying, "Where are you going?" One day he'll get attached enough that he's a bit upset, but for now, John is stern-faced. He's more British than I am. He's got that stiff upper lip. But yeah. So we can move on to our next segment, which is another sad one. Also with the disappointing news this week. But yeah, this might come as a shock to some people. But yeah, Rei Kuromiya from Lady Baby has apparently been diagnosed for having acute laryngitis and vocal nodules, which is not good at all considering she's 16 and her entire career is based on her voice and her looks. So yeah, that's not too good. But apparently so far that multiple lives of Bratz and Lady Baby have all been cancelled from henceforth, and she will be taking a rest period. There's apparently meant to be a benefits event that's taking place on October 9th at Tower Records. I know we had a few people over there that were actually waiting to go to either Bratz or Lady Baby shows, and they're now not able to. So that's quite sad. Obviously, people wanted to go see her play. But apparently this benefits event on October 9th will take place, but the fans have been notified that she won't be able to speak. So I'm guessing she's either going for the surgery before that, or they're just telling her before she has to go for surgery or treatment. I don't know. I mean, vocal nodules, you normally do have to have treatment, right? Everyone so far who's had to go for treatment.
Removed.
Yeah, I mean,
chat is saying, why would anyone be at this instead of the Guso disbandment? I would counter that with you could also go to the graduation of Coco from Surazure. Everything's happening on the 9th.
Yeah, pretty much.
Depends on
originally wasn't her graduation on the 8th, and it got cancelled and now moved to the 9th.
I'm not sure.
Coco's graduation.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you have to have the nodules removed. I remember so
Pretty
far. We've had a
much,
couple
yeah.
of people. So originally we had Mishiro, formerly of Deep Girl, who's now in Cyber, as you know, Mashi Love, Mashi Tan, whatever you want to call her, Mashi. She had vocal nodules. I mean, not
Shirahata from Gokigen.
Oh, there you
had
go.
them.
Shirahata from
Aina had them too.
Aina from Bish, vocal nodules. And as far as I'm aware, they've all had to have surgery. I think Ichiho from Gokigen is, or Shirahata, however you want to call her, she is, just overcome it now. I think she's had the surgery and she's recovering now, right?
Yeah, she's recovering.
Yep. Aina, obviously, we know had the surgery and then she bounced back and then did Promise the Star. So yeah, no worries. I think the main thing about this one is that she's 16. She's 16. They should be taking care of her, man. Like her voice, they should be taking care of her. Like for either that or or.
It does happen to a lot of singers. Like people in chat are saying, it usually happens to them when they're in their 30s.
Yeah.
After like a really long career of singing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you got to remember that these girls pack in. They're doing shows like every night or every other night.
Realistically, also, how many of them actually have vocal training and know what they're doing? Probably not that many.
Probably none, in all honesty.
Like they're just winging it. It's like, oh, this works. This sounds good. It might not be good long term though.
I said for a long time that I thought that she could do with a vocal trainer just to get the most out of her voice, because she has a really nice voice. Like she could be up there with a lot of bigger singers, but she's really young, isn't it? Like her voice could mature into something really nice, but You know, not if she's gonna have this. I mean, it also probably doesn't help that a lot of the venues that these girls play in, they don't have ear monitors. They can't hear themselves very well. So when they're singing, they're literally belting like full power the entire time. I mean, if you've ever gone to a gig and you're trying to talk to someone next to you, you'll know when you come out of a gig how bad, you know what I mean, your throat is from trying to talk to someone next to you. Like, you're just like, oh, because you've been, you know, shouting and you just don't realise it. Imagine someone performing on stage every day, or, you know, like 3 or 4 days out of a week, like for an hour.
Some of these venues also don't have the best speaker systems in the world, which probably doesn't help matters.
So, you know, by the time she's 24, she'll probably have no voice and be deaf. But then again, you know, it's one of the things, part and parcel, really. That's why it's a quick thing.
Yeah, it'd be good if these girls could get vocal training, but, you know, that costs money and what have you, so, you know.
Someone said they're destroying their voice, probably why Guso Drop graduated too. I mean, Ray from Guso Drop destroyed her voice a long time ago, and she's still been going, bless her. So, yeah, like, I think her voice permanently changed Ray from Guso Drop. Like, from when she first started, and, you know, she had the kind of cute, you know, like, kind of voice when she first started. It wasn't, like, super manly or anything, but, yeah, definitely once, you know, she didn't really have any screaming technique. She was good, but she sounded pretty good. It sounded pretty brutal, but, like, yeah, she didn't have the best technique, and it kind of messed her up, you know, later on down the line. I think Guso Drop graduates because shows are too expensive. I think you don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, we'll move on from that one.
We're not touching that one.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from the Guso Drop disband because we've touched on it before, and I'll leave the people.
And we'll
who
probably
are
talk
closer
about
to
it.
that.
We'll probably talk about it next week after it actually
After
happens,
they've actually
right?
disbanded, yeah. But we'll.
Or if they actually disband, that's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that we'll find out next week. We'll see. Is this another bit of sadness?
so this, well,
it's sad.
it's kind of half and half,
Caledonians,
right?
I suppose. Kind of, yeah. True.
No, you take the good with the bad,
True.
right? Anyway, so NECRONOMIDOL, as a lot of people probably knew, I kind of forgot this was happening, but, you know, there's a lot of stuff to keep up with, so forgive me. They were supposed to be playing a show, New Caledonia. They've played there, like 2 or 3 times already? It's kind of like a regular place that they go. Where is it again? It's like
New Caledonia.
It's down near New Zealand.
Yeah, so, you know, it's a bit of travel involved to get there from Japan, you know. That's a decent flight. But I guess they don't have to make that flight anymore because the show has been cancelled.
Oh no, they are making the flight though.
They are going now. Apparently, they've bought flights. They're paying it for themselves and going.
All right, I thought
apparently they had cancelled it, and now they've decided that they're going again.
All right, okay. So initially they weren't going to be making that flight because apparently the person who organized their appearance down there just suddenly sent them an email or whatever saying that they would no longer be working with them.
At all.
Yeah, like this company. Jamedol? I don't know how you...
Yeah.
Jamedol. Apparently they were responsible for at least part of the European tour this year, and also these New Caledonia shows, and apparently they're just not able to work with NECRONOMIDOL anymore for reasons that have not been disclosed, obviously, because, you know, you don't really want to go, like, airing dirty laundry in business. It's not, you know.
So, you know, essentially their spot was cancelled, right?
Yeah, they were on like some show with a bunch of, I assume it must have been like a kind of, like, you know, like one of these kind of Japanese culture type deals, right? And apparently they were like, all right, okay, well, if you guys can't work with us anymore, we're still going to go. We're still going to fulfill the commitment. But apparently they'd been replaced already, which is kind of strange.
Someone else said basically. So in other words, Jamedol had obviously already known that they were going to break it off with Necro. Obviously, probably thinking that Necro wouldn't come anyway. They didn't.
They might maybe. I mean, we're speculating.
We're speculating, of course, but you know, they might have been like, oh, Necro probably won't come now because we aren't, you know, in conjunction with them. So whatever, we're not, you know.
Yeah, so I guess
blah.
I guess they booked someone. I don't know who. Someone booked someone else for NECRONOMIDOL's slot, so they didn't
Couldn't
have
perform.
anywhere to perform.
Mm.
But then I guess they're like, okay, we're still going to come.
Mm.
We're going to shoot some videos while we're down there, which you know makes sense. You got to try and spin a bad situation into a good one.
And then apparently there was the fact that they couldn't fly.
There's going to be a fan meetup, right?
Yeah, and then apparently it was
They're
that
going to
they
do a fan
weren't going.
meetup and.
Yeah.
I think they're doing that on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice of them. You know what I mean? They've already, you know, apologised to the New Caledonian fans. You know, sorry we couldn't play there. We're going to try and, you know, make something else happen, make something else work, which I think is really nice of them. You know what I mean? On short notice as well, probably paying out of their own pockets. You know what I mean? To get over there now and try and set up some sort of fan meet, because there's probably quite a lot of people that were looking forward to that.
Probably
show.
not that cheap to do either. You know?
No.
I mean.
So I mean, big respect out to Ricky and the Necro girls if they do manage to make it over there, which it seems like they will be, and you know, actually go and see their New Caledonian fans. You never know, maybe someone in New Caledonia's got a who and some speakers, and they can be like, "Yo, Ricky, we've sorted you out, man. We've got somewhere to play. Let's go. Let's have the show." Yeah,
I mean, they were saying that
this is what I thought. James Dole cancelled airfare, I believe. So I'm guessing now they're paying out of pocket as well for the airfare. If they are going.
it's like Necro were saying, "Oh, we'll perform in a park if we have to," kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
like,
you know,
yeah,
Guerrilla style.
some dedication right there.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of bad news, you know. But they're trying to make the best of it, and there's also some good news because. NECRONOMIDOL at their I'm terrible. What was the name of the
Beyond the
show?
Realms of Death.
Their Beyond the Realms of Death tour final, right? Kind
on
of.
the 30th of September.
Yeah, Liquid Room. They announced that they have a new single in the works. It's called Strange Eons, and it comes out on the 27th of December.
And they didn't just announce it; they played it.
They played the lead song from it, which apparently has instrumentals provided by Kiba of Akiba, who some people might remember from their collaboration with Baby Metal like 4 years ago.
Anime Gamitai.
Yeah.
Or Animation with You. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Song sounds alright from the kind of super fuzzy live video I saw. So,
yeah, I'm not gonna do what I did last time. Last time I heard Dawn Slayer. I heard
you were
a bad
super.
recording,
You were like,
and I was
I'm not sure about
I'm
this
worried,
one.
I'm worried. And then I see it live in London, and I was like, yes, this is the stuff. And then that release has been like one of my favorite releases of this year. So I have faith in Ricky. I have faith in the Kiba of the Kiba guys, and anyone else he decides to bring on board for this single project. So yeah. Just looking forward to more Necro.
Sneaking that single in before the end of the year.
You're going for that single of the year. Maybe you heard what we said about we thought they had a 5 out of 5 in them. Maybe he's like, yeah, I'll get it done this year, boys. Don't worry about it.
making a late play for my top 10.
Super late.
Yeah, that's a super late play.
Yeah.
Or if your other websites, they've already missed it because some
like November or
websites
something
cut
like
off in November for some strange reason.
Crazy.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm looking forward to that. Like, I'm looking forward to pretty much anything Necro does.
Pretty much. People know we have a lot of love for Necro here, and yeah, this is just going to be more good stuff to come. So excited, count us excited and count us in. And we also hope that wish all the best for Necro for the whole New Caledonia situation. And we hope the New Caledonian fans get what they want, and, you know, Necro also don't take too much of a hit from this. That's all I can say really on that one. Should we move on to the next bit?
Yeah, we can move on.
We can move on.
So, let's see. What was this? Last night? No, not last night. The night before.
The
at least,
before,
night before.
At least over here in the Western world, the early ass mornings.
Like yesterday morning for us, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Beast Bad Social Tour final, Idol is Dead, was held. And that was quite the to-do.
That was a show.
Yeah, I was watching it live. We kind of actually had a Discord party, which was fun.
I missed out. I had to go to bed. Bad
I
times.
think there was like 4 of us in there.
Oh,
But anyway,
it's live and kicking.
yeah. So the show kind of fired off, and it's like, oh yeah, they're doing really good. You can hear everybody and this and that, and then I'm like, hey, wait a second. They are standing true. There's only 6 of them on stage.
Indeed.
And poor Louis was not there. Because, she failed that whole thing.
Well, she only wasn't there for so long. It didn't take long for them to pull one over on us.
Yeah. So they did Paprika, everybody's favorite workout song. And I believe it was at the beginning of the song, Saki was like, she's like hollering and screaming into the mic. She's like, "Poor Louis, get your ass out here.
Pretty much.
We're all gonna do squats until you come out here."
Yeah.
Or whatever. So they do the song. She does not come out during the first song, so it starts up again. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Stop this crazy ride.
So we've already had 4 minutes of squats at this point, just for the first song.
Didn't they do Paprika like 4 or 5 times?
4 or 5 times, yeah.
Well, yeah. She comes out in the second one, right?
Yeah.
And it's everybody, like, the crowd explodes and all this whatnot. And she comes out, and then
y'all got played.
They did the song 3 more times after that.
Yeah.
Like, I suppose it's a punishment.
So we're talking like
Watanabe's like, you have to work for this.
A full 20 minutes worth of squats.
Yeah.
And they're literally like collapsed on the floor at the end of this five paprikas. And Watanabe essentially comes out and he basically says to Saki, you think you can just call her on stage, and get away with it, and everything would just be fine. He's like, that's not the way it works, love. Like, and as you found out, you're all knackered now. And apparently,
I think he also kind of threatened to pull her off stage for the rest of the show.
Something like that. And it was probably all a setup, and it was all part of the bringing a triumphant return. But essentially, Saki was like, no, I want to do the show as 7 or whatever. Please let us stay. There was a lot of onegaishimasu going on.
We should also point out that this happened like 3 songs into a 20-something song set.
Yeah. So we're talking, they did 20 minutes of squats that literally murdered them all. Like, they were literally on the floor. Within the last 2 songs, you literally had the majority of the girls crouching by the front of the stage, holding fans' hands, and the fans were pushing them up so that they could squat. And somehow Momo kept going the entire time.
Oh, well,
she does this weird little squat. She kind of like bends forward, then rocks back, then bends forward, then she's still done it. Like, bless her.
She hasn't developed the muscles for that yet.
Yeah.
Well, how many squats can a fetus do? Really?
A doll's joints only work quite so well, unfortunately. But yeah, some of them were really, really going for it, and I think they probably regretted that decision by the time it came round. The 3rd or 4th time.
I would like to think that this was pre-planned, but Watanabe was like, okay, do it for 2 songs, and then we'll get Louis out there.
Yeah.
So they're we're going to go ham for this, right? And then he's like, we'll do it another 2 times.
Like the first couple of times, it seemed like they were kind of expecting it, but after that, like, the faces looked genuinely like, oh my god, another 4 minutes of squats.
Got him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
At the end, they were all just laying on the floor.
Yeah, and then, so she's apparently officially off her suspension.
Oh, yes.
And then, after another hour of show, this show is like an hour and 50 minutes. It's almost 2 hours long.
After 20 minutes of continuous squatting, 20 minutes of continuous squats. I don't know if anyone's ever done squats for 2 minutes, but 20 minutes is an unbelievable amount of squats to do. They then performed for another hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, of singing, dancing, all sorts of stuff.
But then at the end, old Watanabe comes back out and he's like, I have 2 pieces of good news and 1 bad news, he said, is what I've been told. And so then they towed out these signs. I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures there.
He originally said, I've got 2 bits of good news and 1 bit of bad news. And he basically pushed Momo forward and they were like, what do you want to hear first?
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I suppose I'll have some good news first. And then, then he dropped this whole, what you're about to
then they announced that they have been signed to Crown Stone, a major label, which is a sub label of Nippon Crown, which is one of the bigger labels in Japan. I mean, they're not Avex big, but they're pretty damn close. Might be on the same level, really.
They have Paspo and Bandmade and a whole other bunch of groups, so they're pretty legit.
Yeah, they're legit.
And then they also announced a tour that's running from January to March, which I can only assume is going to be related to probably an album.
Probably.
I would think that's probably going to come out at the beginning of January, and it's going to be their major label
December.
It's
debut.
called the New Beginning Tour or something like that?
Second Beginning.
Second Beginning.
Yeah,
that's the
Second
one.
Beginning.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can only assume that it's going to be their major label debut album, which they haven't re-debut. They haven't announced any details on it
Expect
yet.
to hear Idol is Dead in full re-recorded.
Don't validate any of these people that say this is a different group. This is still BIS.
This is still BIS.
Pretty much.
And then the bad news was that there was none. He was just pulling their leg.
Yeah. He was setting them up to be upset about something, and he had
No, I
nothing.
mean, for him, it's probably bad news that there's no bad news.
Yeah, for him, that's a very good point. He's like, I don't have anything to troll you with. Unfortunately, it's all good news. I'll catch you lot later.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have
And
anything to troll BIS with.
But
Yes, Viz, we do want to see the BIS Bandmade collab. We all want to see
I
that.
really don't.
You don't?
Who wants to see that?
I do.
I couldn't care less.
I'd rather see a BIS and Paspo collaboration.
Well, that too.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
yeah.
We'll see.
No bad news. Nope, no bad news.
I'd take a tour, maybe, not collaboration.
Yeah. Well, with
But yeah, I think that's
Bandmade
about
can
all I
be the
got on
openers,
that.
yeah. Bandmade can open for BIS.
I don't know who's pulling more. I think they pull about the same amount.
We're just triggering so many people right now. But luckily, this is the Alternative Idol podcast, so everyone here should agree with us. If not, it might get posted in a few groups and we'll regret this later, but never mind.
Yeah, especially considering we can't monetize this video.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter these days. But now we're a nice, clean Christian podcast, like I said, so we're okay. If anyone's on YouTube, they'll know the joke that I'm talking about, that, all the guys that were getting demonetized have now basically put Christian podcast or a channel in their name, and they all got re-monetized. I kid you not. So yeah, we are the alternative Christian podcast now. Who knows?
There we go.
And we'll move on to something else anyway.
Yeah, let's move on to the last bit of news here. Which, I don't know. I don't think this is that big of a deal, but
The picture alone makes me laugh.
So Passcode, everyone knows who they are, right? You guys heard of Passcode?
I've heard
Who?
of Passcode.
Who?
They do
joke never gets old.
metalcore and screamo, I think.
Anyway,
Are they like
so,
some kind of computer group or something?
Yeah, man.
yeah, they're chiptune. But anyway, so Passcode, everyone knows who they are if you listen to this podcast, I'm sure. Their song "Bite the Bullet" has apparently been picked up as the theme song for a Japanese TV drama. It's called Fringe Man.
Fridge Man. Defenders
And
of
I
the
guess
Fringe.
I guess the irony here is that guy in the
Doesn't have a
picture
fringe.
doesn't have a fringe.
Yeah. He's widow's peak, man.
So it's airing on TV Tokyo every Saturday night, and it's also on Japanese Amazon Prime Video.
Nice.
So if you've got Japanese Amazon Prime for some reason, I guess you can check it out.
I think he lives on the fringes or operates on the
Now,
fringes.
do we want to trigger everyone and say that the hands that are touching him might be members of Passcode?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Look at them.
Look at that little tiny hand on the side. That's got to be Yuna. She can barely reach his shoulder, bless her. I don't know why she's got them Saki nails on there. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Who knows?
I think it's actually a
guess the real
four-armed woman.
The real scandal of this picture is that guy has a wedding ring.
Oh no.
OMG.
Infidelity. we got to leave. This is a clean Christian channel, and I can't have adultery on this channel, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to move on to something else.
Yeah, there's not much to say about it. I mean, I don't really know what the whole deal with the TV show is. People probably don't really care, apart from the fact passcode. I almost say passport every damn time.
I've got passport on the brain now.
Pretty much. I'm super hyped because I'm going to see them twice in one day.
And passcode.
So yeah, people aren't going to be that interested in watching the actual show. But it's cool that Passcode's got a song kind of getting out there. TV Tokyo, that's, pretty decent TV station for coverage. So.
Indeed.
Anyway, releases. Let's do some releases, because why not?
We got releases coming out the wazoo.
Oh, it's me again. Okay, let's go. We didn't plan this through very well, did we?
Not.
Oh no, we've got double G's. Let's go.
So, Kodomo Mental's new idol group that we've talked about a little bit. Kaqriyo Terror Architect. God, that is so difficult to say.
Kaqriyo Terror Architecto. There you go.
Yeah, sure.
How?
They did spell it out in one of the songs.
That's the only reason why I'm allowed to say it now. From singing along.
So they announced their first single, which we talked about a little bit, I think.
Indeed.
It's a double A-side, Kagome, and Hybrid Taboo. It came out this week on the 4th of October.
Yep.
It's for the low price of 1,000 yen. You get 3 songs. You get the aforementioned 2 songs, and you also get Gyaku Juji, which is something like reverse cross or inverted cross or, whatever. Something suitably demonic, I'm sure. It's on sale pretty much everywhere. Tower Records, Village Vanguard, HMV. Don't think it's on iTunes, and I don't think it's on Ototoi, so you're kind of out of luck. Get a bunch of different in-store benefits that no one is probably going to be able to take advantage to unless you're in Japan right now.
Yeah.
It's random, it's Tower Records is a mystery CDR, whatever that means.
Probably their first ever song, maybe.
Maybe. Village Vanguard. Yeah, Village Vanguard has a DVD, which is probably making of the video or whatever that we're going to talk about in a little bit here. And HMV gets you a badge, so
The standard tat you get.
HMV
much.
tat right there with the cam badge when everyone's got CD and DVD.
Pretty much. So yeah, that's come out this week, and pretty much, was it the exact same day this came out, or was it before this came out?
It was on the same day when it came out. They announced.
Yeah, I think it was the same day.
So they dropped this single, and then basically, right as it comes out, they're like, "Oh, by the way, second single, November 29th. Look forward to it." It's okay. Let's just keep the hype going.
Just as a quick question, does anyone in chat have that single yet? Does anyone have
it?
Has anyone listened to the single yet?
I have.
I have.
I have.
Keep that Idol is shit review pending. It's coming.
Oh yeah, that review's coming in a few weeks to idolshit.com.
Hopefully, if you haven't got your copy by then you.
I actually finished writing it last night, so it's definitely good to go.
Yeah. You've all seen. You've all seen the A sides, bro. You haven't seen what else they have coming.
You haven't experienced the B sides.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Speaking of reviews, if anyone's got a physical copy of Yul Meltmore's Talking Hits EP coming in the mail, slide into my DMs and hook me up with New Wave Star, because apparently I can't buy it on iTunes.
And I can't get it from Ototo either. They won't give me the main song. They won't give me the star.
Hook a brother up.
They won't get apparently the label has stopped that song and it's not being released yet. But the other 2 songs are released. So yeah, I bought an album and it didn't.
I will give you credit of some description.
I will give you thanks with my mouth. Verbally, of course.
Let's not go that far, Terry. I mean, I don't know what you're planning on doing, but...
Hey, I'm a good, clean Christian man. Who
dinner and a movie for me first,
A nice hearty handshake and buy you a sandwich.
Handy J.
Dude,
anyway.
I thought you said this was a Christian podcast. Nice and clean, squeaky clean.
Some press.
Terror Architect. You guys are going to hear us talk a bit more about them real soon here. Let's move on to even more releases because everyone announced something this week.
And baba boom, we have none other than Spark Speaker, which will probably make certain people happy that we're covering them because we've covered them a few times, but it's about time we covered them with something big. And now we have something. They basically have their first album entitled Kyome. It's available on November 22nd, so get them pre-orders in. Don't know when it's coming out actually. Where it's coming out, I should say.
It says
where it's coming out.
Huh?
I don't know whether it's coming out.
It
CD
should be
Japan,
nationwide. It should be nationwide.
Yeah, it's nationwide.
Oh, cool. So there's two versions of the CD. You got the CD version, which is 2,000 yen, and you've got the kind of standard CD and DVD version, which is actually only 2,500 yen. So that's a pretty good deal, to be honest. Extra 500 yen and you get a DVD.
I mean, if we're being like real, it's a terrible deal considering how cheap it is to make the damn thing. But
Yeah.
You know.
I'm used to getting overcharged for stuff, so as of yet, we've got no track list, so I can't tell you about the songs. But what we do know is that near enough all production work was done by Scrambles. So if you're a fan of,
they're like the cousins of Biss.
They are basically the cousins of the whack groups. I wonder how much that set them back, for all the Scrambles production. Or, maybe someone is a friend of someone and, hooking them up with some of that dank Scrambles production, we don't know. But if you're a fan of Matsukuma Kenta's style, then this might be one for you to check out.
Apparently, there's short versions of 4 or 5 songs on their YouTube channel. So.
Yeah, we've been posting the previous songs for a while, haven't we? Near enough. We had ages ago. We kept posting them.
Yeah, we don't know if they're on the album or if they're just singles.
Yeah.
Were those the singles from earlier?
I'm assuming the singles will end up on the album though.
We'll probably just put them all on the album.
Yeah, there's no way they can afford to get singles made by Scrambles and then a whole album made by Scrambles. There must be some overlap there, otherwise someone's
especially considering I don't think those singles were
released
widely. So
yeah, and I think that most of those singles were just with the two of them before they got the other two.
Yeah, like Poliosa said, they are on the same label as Tsubasa Fly. Let's just hope that they go, let's just hope they're a bit more successful than Tsubasa Fly, who released something really good and then disbanded immediately. So,
that girl on the right in the picture kind of looks like Momoko.
Oh, on the far right? Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Man, that YouTube algorithm would have demonetized the video for that. Good thing it wasn't monetized in the first place.
It's a good point. But that's about it. Spark Speaker stuff, good to hear more from them.
I'll pick that up, probably.
And what we got next?
Oh, we have got a whole load of Uijin.
John's loving
three releases.
We got Uijin.
Yep, we got triple Uijin. First one is actually a split with Does It Escape Again, and doing kind of a I'm suspecting this is kind of like a LSN Bish collab type thing.
That's
where they
kind
do
of what it reminds me of.
Baby Metal, Kiba, Vakiba collab.
Yep.
Except they do have one song. Well, okay, details first. It's coming out October the 18th. I suppose nationwide. Anybody know?
It's tough to imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Ceremony of Chaos.
Chaos with a KH.
Oh yes, Chaos with a KH.
Like from Warhammer.
Anyway, it's five songs for 1,500. Pretty good deal.
Yes.
It's almost as cheap as buying it digitally.
Yep, and that's one track from each, covering each other's songs, and then a song together. I don't know if the song together, which is called The Wave, is one specially written for this, or if it's, a Does It Escape Again song that they're doing with Uijin, or a song for Uijin that they're doing with this group. I am going to go ahead and assume that it's a special song they made for this release.
More on that in a bit.
Definitely.
Then there's a limited edition of 500 unit single PPP Game Over that is coming out on the 18th as well, exclusively at Tower Records Shinjuku. That one's gonna cost you 1,000 plus tax, and I do not believe you can mail order this from Tower either. I think it's an in-store only. And then the following week is another 500 exclusive at the Tower Records in Osaka. I don't know how many Tower Records are in Osaka. Is it just the one?
Probably a couple, I'd have to imagine.
Okay, I believe this is the one near the station, near the train station, the main train station there. How you say that?
This is Chayamachi.
Chayamachi, yeah. And that is, oh god, this isn't translated, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Setsuna Memorial Game Over. So the A side is different on each, or it could be a double A side. I don't know.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, usually the B side or the second song is the different.
Yeah.
Huh. But that one's available on the 25th, and I suppose there's in-store happenings that go along with these.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, and that one's 1,000 as well, plus tax.
Plus tax.
Plus tax. So, Uijin fans, better get your plane tickets, because you're not going to get these otherwise.
Or try and find them in auction later.
Or you can hit me up, and I'll try and buy some.
If they have any left.
Just
I can get the one at Shinjuku.
We're not going to Osaka.
I can get the Shinjuku one, probably. Hit me up.
Anyway, that's about it for Uijin. I thought I'd blow through that one fast. So
you did, and that pretty much wraps up for the news. But we do have that song preview that we talked about earlier that we thought we'd get going, which was the...
Oh, we didn't even talk about the other song. Oh, man.
Oh, Fiddlesticks.
We missed that one, but we can mention it anyway.
We'll tack it on here. Why not?
So we've got Empire's first preview song. Do you like the picture I chose? I thought it was pretty appropriate. You'll see it.
It is great.
Yeah, yep. So if you was expecting to hear Empire, you were wrong. Instead, you've got Matsuki McKenna and Watanabe.
Empire is coming, but not quite yet.
Yeah, but they are bringing fish and lobsters, so don't worry, it's okay.
Wish on a lobster, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, wish on a lobster.
Wish on a lobster.
It's like, so before we kind of talk about the song, I just want to point out how amazing it is that people had kind of forgiven or begrudgingly oh fuck, I've lost it. They forgave Watanabe for the Prelude thing. There we go. Jeez.
Yeah.
And then within like a couple of hours, they'd found something new to hate him for. There's wrestlers out there that wish they could get that kind of organic heat.
Pretty much. So, has everyone in the chat or has anyone listened to the preview song for Empire yet? I know you two have. Right.
Have they listened to the whole thing, or did they shut it off in disgust?
Because it was Watanabe, yeah. But Watanabe's got the voice of an angel, man. He's got them smooth.
He can sing pretty well.
He's got them smooth, silky pipes.
Let's get Watanabe a solo album. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Seriously, that he's quite the vocalist.
Hashtag Watanabe solo album.
Oh, don't. That's going to be the next Fun Friday hashtag.
Make it happen.
Hashtag Is it JSK or whatever?
Yeah.
Solo album. Let's do it.
It's good. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's literally a it's a demo, and you know what I mean. But it's Watanabe is singing the vocals. I mean, no one complains when Daichi does the tracks for Guso. People listen to them and go, "Oh yeah, new Guso song coming." Oh yeah, we listen to Daichi. Like, cool.
So like,
but Watanabe sings better than Daichi.
The thing is, right? It's like I figured people would be happy that they at least heard what an Empire song would kind of sound like now, instead of having to probably wait till like December, January time to hear something proper. I don't know.
I mean, he even actually put it out as an actual download, and it comes with lyrics.
Yeah.
So he quite clearly wants people to know the song by the time people see them live. Do you get what I mean?
I'm going to throw it out there. They're doing that like Whack Family thing, or like
Yeah.
they're doing that show. Is it at like Diversity or something?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
On the
Oh yeah,
8th
that's
of December.
when is that?
That's their
yeah,
that's their
yeah.
debut performance, isn't it?
I have to imagine that'll be their debut. They'll like open it up or whatever and do this song
Yeah.
and maybe another one. I don't know.
And
Then maybe they'll announce a single. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, what do you guys want? You know?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the song now or in like 2 months?
I want more Watanabe
Yeah,
singing.
man.
That's what I want.
Fucking dig it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Speaking of,
I can imagine the song being really good with the girls. I was trying to kind of listen to it and kind of be like, okay, they'll probably swap out for another girl here.
It will heavily depend on the vocals.
I would assume
That-
that.
A lot of that instrumental's kind of, you know,
I think if
plain Jane.
Watanabe as a single person can pull it off, then them as a group could pull it off. If you get what I mean. I mean,
Yeah.
at worst vocal ability we're gonna get the BIS reformation when they first joined. That's as worse as it's gonna get. Let's be honest.
yeah. Somebody was asking about Chance. You know, it's actually a pretty vocal-heavy song for a good
There's a
part
couple of woes.
It's gonna
right?
Yeah,
it's
there's
gonna
some
be
wohos.
it's gonna be a bit like Gang Parade. There's gonna be clapping. There's gonna be woes. There's gonna be probably people will sing the girls' names at certain points. You know, the standard stuff.
Chat informs me that there is another Empire announcement this coming week.
Indeed, it could be maybe the actual song, or maybe an MV, or who knows, or it could just be
Maybe a
another
single
song with Watanabe
announcement.
singing in it.
It's gonna be another Watanabe classic.
It's gonna
right?
be the B side for the single that they're gonna eventually release with Watanabe singing. That'd be quite
That's
fun.
fine.
That'd be
I don't
Hell,
know.
he'll even throw Kenta on backup. You know, for the you know.
back up. Just in the background of his triangle.
get a little harmony going.
Speaking of duets, I guess the Poor Louis thing kind of got a lot of negative publicity, right?
Oh, about the die or die thing, right?
Yeah, like Huffington Post was like, "This is terrible," blah blah blah.
Yeah, and that
It's
video
okay.
disappeared soon after that.
It's like, okay, guys, calm down. So I guess Watanabe and Poor Louis recorded a duet called like "Best Friends" or something.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, it's okay, we like each other, kind of thing. And then the super cheesy photo with them like with their hands like linked together and stuff.
Oh, that was funny. That's also not a bad song.
It's pretty good. I rate it.
So
Did a good job with that song. You guys should check it out.
it seems like BIS members and dubstep seems to go all right together, but BIS members and dubstep not so much. It seems.
Ooh, pew pew pew.
Hey man,
Shots fired.
I've made my feelings known about that guy's production style. Well, and I made him enough that he liked the tweet where I basically said he was shit, but.
What, Wub Wubs?
Oh yeah, Teddy Wub Wub. Yeah. Do you remember I was like, oh Ted, that tune was shit or whatever, and he liked it. I was like, whoops. I was like, well, how did he find that tweet? I didn't even like directly reference him. He must have been like searching through trying to find like people's.
He's always
impressions.
watching, Terry.
Teddy Lloyd, yeah.
Yeah, that track was fun though.
Let's do some music videos to kind of wrap the show up, yeah?
We do, man.
I say wrap the show up. There's 6 videos here, so strap yourselves in for
But
another
it's
half
probably
hour, guys.
it's probably one of the strongest video lineups that we've ever had.
Oh, this thing is stacked, man.
And we also like cut out another 6 videos.
So yeah, it could have been a jumbo cast, but instead it's just a podcast. So we'll move on with the first one, which is starting us off with Candye Syrup with their Twitter video for Idol of Death, which is actually footage pulled from when they basically the first time they played this song live. I think it was the first or second time they played this song live. Do you remember when they
had that whoopsie moment?
Yeah, when they had the whoopsie moment on the SoundCloud? Apparently that was close to this, so I have a feeling that was when it happened. This song is called Idol of Death, and it actually features Misa, formerly from Story of Hope, I think it was, which is kind of like a hardcore metalcore band. She kind of, she did kind of the girl type vocal or post-hardcore, whatever you want to call it, but yeah.
Don't you mean M exclamation mark essay?
Well, she didn't used to go by that. That's what she goes by now. Before it was just Misa, innit? Yeah. Pretty much.
This is a pretty heavy song.
Yeah, it's super heavy.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see them play this live, or if Misa's gonna be there.
Be interesting to see them do it live without Misa.
I think they could do it without Misa. I think that Non could probably do it by herself.
Maybe.
Non definitely has her type of scream, and Misa definitely has her type of scream. If anything, Misa's screams sound better now than when she was in Story of Hope. Her harsh vocals were quite weak, quite thin in Story of Hope, and she had some negative criticism for that. And then Story of Hope broke up. I'm not going to go into the reason why they broke up, because we're a good clean
it's quite
Christian
the reason.
podcast now, so I'm not going to go into
you guys
that.
should look into it.
Yeah, look into that, but I'm not going to speak about it here. But yeah, now she's back and she's doing her own solo project, and she's obviously teaming up with Candye Syrup. And I told you that Candye Syrup have good backing. EQ has pulled in people from the scene enough that
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, enough that what I mean, that Misa, who was she was quite she had a little scandal thing and some bits and bobs happened. Look it up, like I said, but she was still well loved, and now she's back, doing feature vocals on an Idol song, unheard of, pretty much. That you've got someone from a legitimate hardcore band come to basically play with an Idol group at an Idol live, and she's probably loving it. She's probably having a real good time.
She looks like she's having a ball out there.
They all look like they're having a ball out there. That looks like a hell of a show, man. I would have been there. If that, I'm sure once the fans get used to that breakdown, there's going to be some craziness going on during that. Maybe
dude, that breakdown is dope.
Maybe Iku can get in there and or Iku, that's how you say his name, right? He could jump in there and do
Oh, he's gonna douche ninja.
Yeah, he's gonna douche ninja. Yeah, he's gonna be all in there doing his douche ninja moves. It's what we want. It's what we want to see. In his pink dress, just flailing about, spin kicks. It's gonna be wild, man. But yeah.
So is this going to be the replacement for Guso Drop? That's the question.
Well, I mean, I've said that if there was something that
we're of course assuming that they're not just going to reboot Guso Drop, right?
And it's going to become like Guso Rise or Guso Lift or something like that, or something stupid. We'll have to see. We'll find out once the the final Guso live happens, whether or not they all are just going to restart something else, without Daichi or whatever. And
I think this crowd is too big for Guso.
Many shots fired, but there weren't many people there to hit, so it was alright. It's fine.
We're mean.
Yeah, very mean, very mean. But yeah, that's the Candye Syrup song.
I'm digging.
Probably
this.
the most brutal thing I've heard from an idol group in a long time. Crazy ass breakdown. Still got the cute vocals. That first beginning bit kind of reminds me of a cross between Dead Man and what's the other one? The Bukake core song. What's that called? Painfully Violent. That's the one. Yeah, so it reminds me of a cross between those two songs.
Or even the vocals from Stupig.
Oh yeah, we don't speak of Stupig.
I just did.
Oh yeah. Well, so we should probably mention that if anyone actually wants to watch any of the videos we're talking about, there's a little eye icon in the top right of the video. If you click that, you'll get a playlist with all the music videos.
Baboosh, and I'll have them all in there, so you can go and check them out. If you're on mobile, don't do that right now, because otherwise you're gonna end up not on the podcast. So save that for later. Right now, podcast. Later on, go check out videos. But yeah, up next we have
NECRONOMIDOL
with Avov, pretty much. And yeah, this was all footage that was taken from the 24-hour live stream, the Liquid Room or Die, wasn't it? The stream.
Yep.
Which was a hell of a journey, to be honest with you. That was quite a bit to watch.
Man, imagine if you were in that train car with all those people in like corpse paint.
Yeah. I remember we did say that we thought we see people, running around with extra cameras and that sort of stuff. Because I was like, I wonder who's holding this camera. And then I looked and Ricky's just chilling, walking in front. I was like, well, it's not Ricky. It's not one of the girls. So someone's got a camera on them. And it turned out quite a few people had a camera. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, isn't it the guy that directed this is kind of a Isn't he kind of a big deal though?
He directed something else. It's completely skipped my mind now, but he's done other things that are apparently quite good. So, did he do a Fakwa? I don't know if he did a Fakwa now.
I can't remember.
You know, he's gone from snow to rain instead. I can imagine Ricky not quite imagining that it was gonna rain when they first originally planned that, and they were like, "Yep, better make sure we have some umbrellas just in case."
I think the umbrellas add a lot to it, though.
Oh, they indeed they do. You know what I mean? It adds like a certain melancholy aspect. But you know, when you got quite a few people behind them, you know, with the umbrellas and they're smiling, and that sort of stuff. There was a little girl, you'll see her somewhere, and she's in like a little black dress with like the white face paint. She was so cute, bless her. She kept like running up to like Saki and Sori and Okeki and that sort of stuff, and you know, like kind of like tugging on their dress or whatever, and then making faces and all that sort of stuff. And obviously they're trying to like remain straight faced while they're walking along, and they kept kind of getting, you know, taken aback by this little girl trying to put them off every now and again, which is quite funny. Or you have, you know,
and the song's good.
Apple's pretty good, yeah. I mean, it's not my favourite song from Dawn Slayer. That would probably be Oh Yeah or Dawn Slayer itself, personally. But
well, yeah, I think this one's only available on the Slayer version anyway, isn't it? This is the Slayer version extra song, right?
Yeah, this is the Slayer version extra song, yeah. Someone said, who is the shorter black hair? Shorter black hair...
You mean Hina?
It could
be
be
Hina, right?
I'm assuming he means the person who is asleep half the time. If you're talking about Hina was the one...
Hina's the short one.
She either was eating for, you know, 90% of it, or sleeping, or looking like she wanted to sleep or eat, bless her. She's like the cutest thing ever, pretty much. And my favourite member of Necro, much to everyone else's disdain. But, who knows? Yeah, pretty much Hina with her hair down.
Yeah, I really like this song. He kind of has like the Motorhead kind of vibe going on a little bit, right?
Yeah,
definitely. Like if you want to just go to someone, boom, they can do. Oh, what was the Bandcamp, or was it not Bandcamp? Yeah, it was Bandcamp.
Yeah.
That person, that article someone wrote the other day. And
said, we're not talking about this.
We're gonna bring it up. So someone said.
What, you mean the true metal girl?
Someone said the closest that the closest song that they've made, or the closest thing on that record to, in brackets, true metal, was Abhoff. And I was just like, okay, cool.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What is this true metal thing? I've never heard of it. Is it not cult enough? Because I thought that Necro was about as cult as you was going to get, considering they basically are a cult now. Apparently, you know, with the black sun emblem and all that sort of stuff. They might as well be. You got Sari as their cult leader, and then, you know, the rest of the minions. So I would say it's legit.
Oh, she's just a figurehead. You know, Risaki's pulling all the strings.
Probably pulling the strings, making the pancakes, all that sort of stuff.
She can make a mean pancake, apparently, as we saw.
Pretty much. But yeah, good video from Necro as always, making good use of the live footage. Someone said that they'll join the cult of Necroma. Well, you never know. Maybe eventually there will be an international version of.
You're already in the cult.
Yeah, you're here. You're one of us. One of us. If you've ever bought stuff from their Bandcamp, then you're already probably part of the cult. So they've got you. But we'll move on. We've got plenty more videos to cover. We haven't got time.
And they're all so good as well.
So we've got the next thing up, which is Zenbu Kimi no Zeta with this dope ass video. This thing is sick. It's
Misfit Lovers, by the way.
Yeah, Misfit Lovers. Yeah, pretty much, or whatever. But just hella, yeah. But yeah, the effects in the video are sick.
The sped up running sequences kill me
every time. Mishiro standing on the pole when she there's like the wide shot, and I couldn't see where she was until I realized she's standing on the street pole, just above the street. You'll see it in a minute. She's like, when the shot comes wide, I was like, where is she? And then you realize she stood on top of a pole in the middle of the street. I was like, oh, right, that's pretty cool. Also, do you remember in Deadman from Bish, right? That it had kind of like the glowing stuff. This is basically like Kodomo's version of essentially.
I think it might be the same.
I think it's the same. I think it is the same street.
Is it the same street as well?
I'm pretty sure it's the same street.
Personally, I like
A
this just because of how cheeky, you know. Have you seen the way some of them, they get rid of some of the effects on the thing? Like Togeran like headbutts one, Mishiro like butt bashes one as she runs past. Oh man.
Yeah, I think it's probably a day market. That's why it's so empty and they could shoot it at night.
Yeah. Yeah, they must have done this really, really early in the morning, in all honesty.
It's Ueno, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, this video was awesome.
I was waiting for Mishiro to like do the Naruto ninja run when she took off running that one time and jumped over the trash bag.
What Togeren's run's hilarious. She does like the proper like girly flailing hand run. I'm sure they was all, you know, hamming
then
it
she
up
loses her hat at one time.
It falls off, yeah. And apparently they had was it a fashion designer or someone had done outfits for this? Viz will probably be able to tell me, but apparently a fashion designer or someone had made outfits for this video or whatever. Hence why, you know, they're all wearing, well, outfits maybe that you don't see them wear very often.
I could be a fashion designer.
I mean, their fashion style normally is, there you go, the Mishiro butt bounce just happened. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what sort of fashion style this is, but...
I was just happy to see them do something not in their standard uniform type deals. It's refreshing.
I mean, I think they actually make really good MVs not in uniforms, if that makes sense. It's a bit like the last one when, you know, they were in the schoolgirl outfits for Mudagasho. That was really good as well because they weren't in their normal outfits, apart from the roof bit, but then that kind of fit with the roofs, it was okay. I like to see a lot of Zen Kimi variety. They have a lot of variety in their songs, so to see a lot of variety in their videos and for it, you know, to have this sort of level of production, even on like a chill video like this, is pretty cool to see. Kodomo Momental seem to have really stepped up their graphic effects recently.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they also kind of helps that they're basically all in on Zen Kimi at the moment.
Definitely, yeah, they're definitely giving them a big push.
Most of the man hours, it feels like, are going into this group.
And yeah, and probably Architect as well, behind the scenes. It seems like Surezure has been on the back seat a little bit, but that's probably due to, you know, the whole Kokoko issue. Once that's resolved and it's sorted, we'll probably see, you know, a push for Surezure again. Because, you know, at one point we thought, you know, Surezure was getting the big push. You know, they were the ones going to Canada. They were the ones, you know, doing all this stuff. They're the ones putting out the single. And then it kind of tapered off and we were like, oh, Surezure's not announced anything for a while. And then the Kokoko thing came out and we're like, oh, we understand now, you know.
The fan club's also pretty dead.
Yeah, nothing from the fan club for a while. So if anyone's still paying that, how much is it? Don't remind me.
It's like $5.
It's like 500 yen.
Oh, okay. So it's like, what, is it only as expensive? Is it only as expensive as like Nico Nico?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't got Nico Nico at the moment, so it's fine. We'll see.
Yeah, this song's great. I love this song.
It is so good.
Yep, great song.
Great album. Check out my review on idolishshit.com.
Yeah, read the whole thing.
I don't know if most people realise, you know, Yotsu was doing the harsh vocals on the song, but there is also harsh vocals from the other girls in the song as well. Like
nobody notices that Yotsu does all the anime vocals either.
Yeah, probably.
No one knows that. She gets like no credit whatsoever. It's incredible.
Like if you take out her voice, it's like really noticeable.
It's like that's like half the song disappears without her voice.
Yeah, but it's because everyone was so used to her voice just being the tracked vocal. Because I'm guessing when she was either learning harshes or something had happened for a while, she wasn't singing live, was she? She wasn't singing live at all. So I don't know what was going on there. Maybe she was just having issues at the time. But guess what? She had vocal issues and she didn't leave Mene. She's still in the group. So
oh, come on. You don't have to start saying stuff like that.
I'm being mean. I apologize. But
thank you, Mike S in chat. I appreciate the love of my review.
Yeah. It was a long review, but a good review.
It was stupidly long.
But then
it probably didn't have to be that long.
It's a stupidly big album though. It's like what, 15, 16 tracks?
16, yeah.
16 tracks, yeah. So
I did it all in like 2 days.
It's a hell of a thing to listen
just
to.
an idiot.
Complaining the whole time, weren't you?
So
not really.
Should we move on to the next video? We've watched
Sure.
we've watched Zenbu a few times. And we're onto something that we don't normally see very often, but
We also talked about this earlier.
yeah,
So hey,
it's
you know.
Uijin featuring, or is it Does It Escape featuring Uijin, or is it just a
No,
collab
it's
between the
just
two?
it's a collaboration, right?
Yeah. Does It Escape Again are a band? Obviously, you guys should know who Uijin is by now. And this song's actually pretty dope. We said that we thought it was probably the least strongest out of the things that we're currently covering. But I mean, we've got such a star-studded lineup right now.
I said it's probably the weakest out of the music videos and songs that we're talking about this week. But when you have like Kodomo Mental and some other stuff, we're gonna get to you know.
It's hard to compete, really, in all honesty. But
by itself, this is great.
This is great, yeah. Like, who expected this from Uijin? I know I didn't.
I like this Uijin. I really like this Uijin.
Harsh. Yeah, like band stuff. You got breakdance. You got guitar riffs. You got the girls singing. You got what's her face from Uijin, who her name completely escapes my mind now. Viz is gonna tell me in chat in 2 seconds. The girl with the pink hair. She's doing harsh vocals. Like, where did this come from, Uijin? Please, like how they were like.
Hopefully, a new direction for Uijin.
With these new singles, perhaps we'll have to see. As for the video itself, it's the standard, performance. Standard performance type thing, the band's playing, the girls are singing, the guy's doing his screamy singy bits, the girls are doing their singy bits and a bit of screamy bits. It's
probably unfair of me to say this, but it's your kind of typical hardcore band with a female vocalist type thing they've got going on.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's still really good though, but it's like they're not. I wouldn't say they've done something that completely like breaks the mold. If that
it's kind of like a less metal sync element. If you guys have ever listened to them,
I'm not familiar, but I'll trust your
they're a
comparison.
metal band that have a harsh vocalist. It's a dude and the singer's a girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that, yeah, definitely.
I like this song though. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Music videos kind of like
standard.
The typical music video for
it's lackluster, really.
Yeah.
Lots of bright lights in dreary backgrounds, and then walking down the
street.
And that sort of stuff.
I'm not really sure about the bit where they've got like the chain link fence between them. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be about, but hey, whatever.
It gave them a space to scream a lot and hold a fence.
Why are you guys screaming at each other through a chain link fence?
Neither of them could top up their speaker card, and neither of them could get in or out of the station, so they were just stuck looking at each other through this chain link fence.
Hey, man,
you'd think they'd at least swipe each other through. I mean, come on.
Ooh. Maybe we'll have to see.
Dude, Christian podcast.
Yeah,
stop.
We can't do that.
I wouldn't hate it if Uijin did more stuff like this.
Yeah, neither would I. I'd be pretty down with that. Always like to see more music variety from them. Their usual stuff's pretty good as well, but I think this is more in keeping with perhaps my tastes. But so we'll see. Onto, would this be the biggest thing of the week?
I guess so. I mean, it's the biggest for the fandom in general. It's not personally.
I mean, this probably could have just been a news topic in general, but we thought we'd just talk about the whole thing on the video. So it is, of course, the new Whack Shuffle supergroup.
It's not really a shuffle.
That's what he called it, as a shuffle group.
Nah,
that's what they officially named it, as a shuffle group. I think it might get moved around occasionally, but we'll have to see. Or this at least version of it is called Saint Sex. Some people don't like the name. I actually thought it was quite funny.
The song is called Whack as Fuck.
If you translate it how they're putting it in with the thing, it comes up as Holy Sex. So yeah, we're good clean Christian podcast, and we fully endorse Saint Sex there. So
missionary with the lights off for the sole purpose of procreation,
with the Bible in the drawer. That's
and a picture of Jesus above the headboard.
You have to clutch your rosaries while you're doing the deed. That's the way it works. But yeah, there. So you've got whack as fuck.
Oh man, we almost got through a whole podcast without making terrible jokes.
I apologise to everyone. I could feel The Holy
is
Spirit was
basic-
telling me to make jokes that I shouldn't have. I apologize.
This is basically Whack just flexing on everyone. Like, look at how many good vocalists we have.
We can just pick from.
And
a
then
bunch.
there's Uni D.
Hey man, she's not that bad. It could have been worse. They could have put.
Yeah,
They could have put
Momo
They
in
could
there.
have put Momo in there. Yeah. That's right. They could have put Momo in there.
Or they could have put Chi-Chi in there, and it would have been way better.
Yeah, I really like this song.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's pretty good.
It's exactly what you'd expect from, like, a Whack supergroup.
Yeah, no.
If you're familiar with all of their voices, it's exact. Why is there, like, a sturgeon? Just a random sturgeon in the music video.
Have you not seen that? Like, there's loads of relevances or things.
It's like
alluding
it's like
to
a
sex
weird
and fish and pregnancy and.
Yeah, it's like a weird kind of biology video that you'd watch in, like, biology class in high school or
Yeah,
something.
and then when
with
the
just,
girls
like,
pop
random
up, you
stuff.
get like quick flashbacks of their previous efforts in whatever they've been doing. So,
Yeah.
do you want to give us a quick rundown of who is in Saint Six, just so people know?
So we've got Kamiyasaki, Purlui, Miki
from Beast.
yeah, okay, Miki from Gang Parade, Yua from Gang Parade, Aya from Gang Parade, and then we have Ayuni and Aina from Bish. So yeah, they were like, let's just get all the really good vocalists and Ayuni and make a super group.
It's definitely Mickey. Mickey's the one with the green.
Yeah, where's Micah? There's another one. Why is Micah not in this?
Micah isn't in it, but it's Mickey. Mickey's
Yeah,
the one with
great.
the. Micah's a good singer, but then at that
green
point you
hair.
might as well just drag
Green
them
hair.
all in. Well, Mickey's got green hair, hasn't she?
Yeah, Miki has green hair.
Yeah, Mickey's got green hair.
Yeah, why is Micah not in this?
Because they didn't have room.
Because they already have Mickey.
They put Ayuni in there.
Seven is the max.
They can't have four.
I'm gonna get so much
Look,
hate.
I
for
know
it.
that Gang Parade probably has the best all-around level of singing in the group, but they can't have 4 Gang Parade.
Why didn't they just give this song to Gang Parade?
Because they've got a whole album that's taking them higher already. I don't see
Can
why
we
they need this. As
Can
well.
we just also take a moment to like put the joking aside and appreciate how they ripped the absolute piss out of Poor Louie's diet challenge in this video?
Pretty much,
With
yeah.
the burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they spent their whole budget on burgers. Because if you've seen the making of this video, it's a guy with the camera spinning in a circle while they run around him.
Pretty much.
It's hilarious.
They have a rough idea of what they're doing, but
Still
they are
looks
literally
good, though.
just, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. The making of, I was like, oh, this is.
They didn't even
awesome.
get him like a revolving platform. Like, they made him spin around.
Yeah, he's walking around
I know some
spinning
people
the
won't understand the Ayuni choice, but she's popular
Avex, please.
and her voice is unique. A lot
They
of
also
people
had
like
to-
her voice because it's unique. You know what I mean? You can't just have everyone. Do you know what? If they just put all of the best singers from Whack, do you know what it will turn into? Fucking Natasha, and I can't stand it.
They also kind of had to have 2 members of Bish at least.
Yeah, so they could have put Chi-Chi in, I suppose, but that would
They
be
could have.
that would be too.
But she's in Natasha, so I guess that makes sense.
Oh, maybe they can't. They should put Ling Ling then, and that would have pleased
That
everyone.
would have been cool. I wouldn't have,
They could have given her a line.
Or Atsuko. Is there? They didn't have a glasses member. Who knows? I just think they went with
so-
popularity, in all honesty, by the look of it.
Yeah, so kind of tie this up a bit. All the members of this group are going to be wearing armbands, I guess.
Yeah, they got these red kind of punk armbands with like pins in them or
I
whatever,
mean,
and it says
punk isn't the first thing that came to mind, but
Nazi armbands. Is that where we're going?
red
with this?
armbands are a very risky choice, no matter what else is on the armband. I'm just going to throw that out there, especially if there's like a white triangle or whatever.
That's a good point. Yeah, at least they didn't go for the the Buddhist, the straight swastika, not the swastika, but the actual real sign. That would have been quite funny.
Yeah, so this is the release of this is super limited. It's like a Tower Records exclusive. You have
Yeah,
to
it's-
buy
I think
this
it's
and
already-
a T-shirt.
I think it's already sold out.
It's sold out online, but I think they are going to have some in store for when it comes out.
Yeah, when they're doing these event things.
I think they put like a limited quantity online, which is why it's sold out so quick.
I also think that Mickey from Gang Parade might be my favourite Whack vocalist, which is strange, but
What is it?
She might now be my favourite Whack vocalist in general.
Is it they only did 2,000? Is that right?
I think it's
Something
2,000
like
in
that,
total. Yeah.
Yeah, 2,000. Because I couldn't remember if it was 2,000 of each. Because there's two versions, one with a medium T-shirt, one with an extra large. I'm assuming they probably did 1,000 of each or something.
It was funny that there was just a medium and an extra large and no
No, let's
large.
be honest. They probably did 500 mediums and 1,500 extra larges.
Yeah, probably.
Comes out like the 18th or something of
Yeah.
October. It's not bad considering I'm just like listing all this stuff off the top of my head and not actually looking at a
Winging
news
it.
release. But yeah.
Like we should probably move on to the next one.
Yeah, we'll put this sex to rest and we'll
Oh, we
move on to the last
saved
song.
the best for last,
We've got
in my opinion.
Kaqriyo Terra Architect with Kagami, which, like we said before, is based on like a Japanese child's game, which the
Yeah, it's
video
for,
kind of
like-
sums up really crazily.
Yeah, you put your hands over your eyes and people like walk around you in a circle.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think apparently the person in the middle plays the demon or whatever.
Yeah, and you have to guess who's behind you or
and then
something
that person
like that.
becomes the demon or something like that. Yeah.
Or if it's the video, they walk around in a circle and then they start kicking the shit out
And
of you.
then
or
they rush
something.
you, yeah. So you've got group
man.
members. You've got Nonomera, who's
Who used to be in Abandoned.
used to be in Abandoned, and she's
She's
got
like
the
the-
light hair.
Yeah, like the kind of mousy brown hair. It used to be blonde.
Yeah,
Glad they toned that down.
turn that down. Yeah, and she seems to be, putting some work in. And then you've got
Yep.
Kotetsu.
Kotatsu,
Kotetsu, who is the
like
Junomaki lookalike.
semi-skimmed Amaki Jin.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've got
And then you got New Girl, who I can't remember her name because I only started following her on Twitter like the other day. But she kind of
Manako Maru or something. I believe.
yeah, she's got a kind of a hard name to say. Something like that. I feel bad now. Viz, give me her name. I know you have it. Give it to me now. Supply me with the names that I should know. But as for the song, yeah, the song's dope. It's got
I just want
go on.
Yamako Maru. There we
Yamako
go.
Maru, there you go.
I just want to point out that at least one of the people in the background is playing an inflatable yoga ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's
What
probably
is up with that?
probably just props they had around the office that they took
I
in and
know,
spray
but
painted.
it's like man is playing it like the bongos.
That's funny.
Oh, that's mad.
I like them.
This might be my favorite song I've heard this year. I'm just throwing that out there.
The whispering's pretty awesome. The whole
ASMR core.
ASMR core, boys. We're venturing into new territories now. ASMR core. But yeah, this song, you know, it's heavily electronic. It's got, you know, a lot of arpeggios in like synths and that sort of stuff. You've got the drum and bass, you know.
This song got stuck
drum
in my
patterns.
head, and I can't remember the last time.
What, the chorus,
a
right?
song-
The chorus is
Yeah.
ridiculously catchy. The do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, that was it.
I can't remember the last time a song got stuck in my head like this.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
yeah. That guitar
Not sure
rhythm,
about the outfits, but hey, you know, whatever.
Yeah, they seem to have some conveniently placed zips in certain places. Yeah, interesting.
So, Yamako Maru is actually a DJ, or did they just put her in front of a set of decks for the
Who
video?
knows?
Does
Maybe
anyone
she's
know?
doing something. Who knows?
That's pretty cool if she is. I mean,
Maybe. Well,
They could do with some choreography work.
It would kind of make sense if she can DJ with the type of music that they may have or have not. If that makes sense.
the choreography, I agree, John, is a bit.
I don't think they have any yet. I genuinely don't think.
They're kind of just dancing about.
They're just letting them.
They have
rock
like
out,
a
yeah.
couple of arm movements, but like everything else is kind
It is
of.
pretty much them just rocking out and doing the Zenbu Kimi hold the hair and pull weird faces maneuver, if that makes sense. Which I think near enough all three of them actually do pretty well. No Namura in
I have an idea
Go on.
for them if anyone is listening, which they won't be. Get an inflatable version of that demon head thing,
Sell it.
so the fans can use it as a beach ball.
Oh, in
during
gigs that'd be
lives.
awesome. Yeah. Viz said I think she used to be in Bokura no Oyugi. You know,
Oh,
you know
is
the
that is
clowns.
she one of the girls that left?
She was one of the clown girls, yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
wait.
crazy.
She isn't the second harsh vocalist, is she? Do you remember Do you remember they used to have two, didn't they? They used to have Ruru Summitry, and they had
They didn't
another
all
one.
used to be in that group, did they?
All of them. No, I don't think Kotatsu or whatever her name was, because all of the girls from Bokura kind of had a
I need to look into this.
distinct look. But
yeah, so
I'll be able to go and look up the Bokura video, because it has them performing in studio and it has the two girls who do the screaming vocals. I'll be very funny if I find out that she is the other girl, because Ruru did one lot, I think, and then she might be the other one. Maybe now. That's interesting. Ooh, who
God
knows?
damn it! Chat has completely distracted me. I'm on Google
So,
Images right now. Look at this.
Kotetsu came from a little lab. They took Amaki Jun into a lab and they cloned her and they messed around on the body sliders a bit, to balance her out.
Give her
She's
normal
definitely
proportions.
was.
Yeah, gave her
in-
normal proportions and then they sent her out into the world, yeah. Go be an idol.
Yamakumaru definitely was in Bokura.
Yep. Yep. But
That's crazy.
it's come
Yeah,
full
there you
circle,
go.
boys. They've went from one
That
thing
is
back
so
round
crazy.
to Kodomo Mental now. And I reckon that KTA are going to do really well. Once people get used
As long as no one hears the B-sides,
as long as
they'll
no one
do
hears the
pretty
beat.
well.
Well, it depends, innit? I'm just saying, if you like what this is, if you're a fan of kind of what Zen Kimi do, if you're a fan of Camera Camera Girl, if you're a fan of that stuff, imagine that all shoved together. So Kotai Camera Girl, Zen Kimi, kind of Surizuri in certain respects, and yeah, some other bits. Just throw that all together, and you've kind of got what Terra Architect seem to be going for, pretty much. Because in this song, the majority of this song, they are rapping. I don't know if anyone it has no harsh vocals. I'm just throwing it out there. There are no harsh vocals.
There is a synthesizer that does a death growl.
Yeah, but there is no harsh vocals. Just throwing it out there. They don't have.
There's no harsh vocals on the B-sides either.
No harsh vocals. But they are interesting, and perhaps people who buy the single just based on this song alone might have issues with the other two songs.
If you've heard Licorice Irony from the Zen Kimi album, you will like one of the B-sides, most likely, if you like that song.
Pretty much. And the other song I could equate to an old school Kotai Camera Girl song with, new flavour and kind of Zen Kimi type stuff on it as well. So, yeah.
Were you tossing some Rhineberry on top of that?
I would say more Kotai. I wouldn't say Rhineberry, because Rhineberry's rap style is not so much like Kotai.
Because they've got serious flow in Rhineberry.
Yeah, I would say that this is more like Kotai Camera Girl, where it's it's just like it goes with the beat of the song. It's more dancey, more drum and bass, more blah blah blah. Maybe Poliosis. I think we think that the song that you heard at their debut might be the third song, in theory, that inverse cross, because that seems to be the most kind of like I don't know, how would you describe it? How would you?
I don't know.
Like, it's a bit like that. It's really like kind of like old school Zen Kimi, synthy, bubblegummy, sweet type stuff in one song. But then it's called Inverted Cross, and I'd love to see the lyrics because it's probably gonna be dark as hell. And the other B-side is basically Kotai Camera Girl on steroids with Zen Kimi, and bass and chiptune and all sorts of bits all rolled into one. But the song's sick. If anyone's expecting Zen Kimi 2.0 or Surizuri 2.0 or expecting this group to be completely about guitars all the time, kind of have bad news for you.
Yeah.
But
Why would you want more of the same thing?
yeah, I think that this group's going to have some variety and really try some experimental stuff. So if you're in for that, then yeah, stay tuned to them, because that second single will probably find out more of what they're going for with their sound. I'm guessing this is more just like a variety show at the moment. These are the 3 songs that we have tried with them. Obviously, they thought that this was the strongest one, so this is what they led with. And the other 2 are obviously other stuff that they've been working on, so we'll see. I like all 3 of them, so I've got no issues. I'm looking forward to seeing what they have on the next single, and especially looking
We'll find
forward
out
to
in
seeing
about a
them
month
live.
and a bit.
Pretty much, yeah. I want to see them live, man.
I'm sure they'll be around.
I want to see that Kodomo Mental Night. That's what we need to do.
Well,
that about
I
wraps
guess
up
that's
for
the
videos.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
the end. Huh?
pretty much it.
We only ran, it's 9 minutes over, our usual time slot. So I'd say that this is been a jumbo cast as it was, but not really that big because otherwise we'd still have another 6 videos. Thanks for everyone who's stuck with us today. You guys have been brilliant, in chat as usual, talking about stuff. Great to see you here with us, even after we've missed a week, and not really put anything out. So I'm glad that you guys, have kept us and made us a part of, your weekly routine. I even had people message us these days and go like, "Are you doing the podcast? Are you doing it this week?" So
yeah, people were like, "Where's the last week?" People were like, "Where's the podcast?"
Guys, you don't know how much it means to us that you guys are actually like, "Where's the podcast?" Like that actually makes us think, shit, we need to get off our asses and make something good for you guys. You know what I mean? The fact that you care, and the fact that it's been accepted by enough people to join us and have a chat and that sort of stuff. Like it does mean something. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're getting somewhere with this. And I don't think we would have got anywhere really if you guys, weren't on board and didn't join in and create the kind of community that you guys are creating. So a big shout out for that, as usual. Before we go, is there anything that you guys wanna plug as usual?
Let's see here. I guess I'll go. Yeah, check out my website, idolshit.com. Try to at least put out one article every week, usually a review. This week I put out a review of Zenbu Kimi no Seida's Egoistic Eat Issues. If you want to check that out, please do. I'd appreciate it. It took a bit of time to put it together, so next week, not really posting anything most people would consider alternative, but if anyone wants to hear my thoughts on the new Paspo single that came out a couple of weeks ago, please do check that out on Wednesday. Twitter, idol is shit for like website updates, random kind of snarky and funny commentary on various things happening in the idol scene. Use my affiliates if you're that way inclined. Smash the sub button on the YouTube channel. Click the bell for notifications. That's pretty much it.
Anything for you, Mr. John?
Yep. Got straight from Japan.com. You can come check it out. I try to put some news up there when when the news happens. And this last week I wrote a pretty interesting piece on I guess you could call it the prehistory of Necronomidol, if anybody's interested in that.
I read it. It was actually pretty good. Especially for people who are interested in Necronomidol and you really wanna know what the group was about from the beginning and the prehistory and stuff that you normally would never know about an idol group because no one's ever going to tell you. Then with John's managed to get himself a bit of an inside picture on that sort of stuff, and it's interesting. There's a lot of stuff in there that I didn't know and I was interested to read, so yeah, I would definitely suggest checking it out.
But other than that, that's about all I got.
Yeah, and as always, you'll find us all in the Alternative Idol group on Facebook. If you're not there already and you are Facebook inclined, then come and join us at the Alternative Idol group and you'll see most of this news pop up, bits and bobs, and you guys can get involved as usual. That's about wraps it up from us this week.
We also have the Discord if anyone wants into that, just contact.
To be fair, we don't big it up as much as it does, and we've got a great group of people in there that like to jump in, chat, and have a good chinwag about just stuff that's going on. It doesn't really matter about the time zone. It doesn't matter how good your English is. It doesn't matter. Just jump in and have a chat. Especially if live gigs are on or if we're watching something, everyone jumps in chat and we have a good laugh. Watching stuff live together. So it's always a good laugh. So if you're interested with that, hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Just drop us a link. We'll get you the Discord chat. And come say hi. We don't bite because we're a good, clean Christian podcast. And Discord.
And there's a Reddit too.
And there's a Reddit, but
don't forget that Reddit that nobody uses.
That now looks pretty because I actually bothered to spice it up a bit.
Yep, it's a spicy meatball, and you said chinwag.
Alright, well that about wraps it up for today. I'm not gonna bumble on anymore. I'm just gonna let you guys go. Thanks for everyone for joining us. Thanks from me, thanks from these two, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks guys.
Bye bye.